award ceremony. We've got a few people that need to leave early, so we're going to start with our first presenter, Chloe Lundy.
Can Ms. Napier please come to the stage? Ever since my freshman year, I've known that Ms. Napier was going to be one of the best teachers I will ever have, and I've had the honor of being a student in her classroom. She is an outstanding teacher who expects only your best work every day. I feared failing in her class because I could not bear disappointing her. She made me work harder each day so I could reach her expectations, and it was so important to me because I felt as if I could earn Ms. Napier's respect, I could accomplish anything. One of the many things that I admire about Ms. Napier is that she puts in so much effort into her teaching. From PowerPoints to guided notes to even her favorite semicircle every morning before class freshman year. She always knew an extraordinary amount of knowledge on anything that she taught, and no question could stump Ms. Napier. Even as the years went on, I applied the knowledge that I was taught in her class and remembered that it all came from her. Another thing that's unique that I adore about Ms. Napier is that when she speaks, it comes from the heart and has meaning behind it. When I went to her ACT prep class, after I finished my work, she would sit around to talk to me, giving me confidence that I could accomplish my goal, and she believed in me. And this meant so much to me. If every teacher in the world followed in Ms. Napier's footsteps, then everyone would be inspired as much as me. She is the definition of tough love, but that's because she wants you to succeed. Thank you for not only setting me up for success on my journey through high school, but also through the journey of life. Only the best deserve this award, and that's you, Ms. Napier.
Our next presenter will be Kendall Gray.
We're going to have Miss Middleton up here right now. We'll start it off with a little story. So we've known about the Greenleaf thing for probably a month, and we all came through here and we picked out who we was going to do, and we all decided. And this morning we all went to a little Greenleaf breakfast thing at the OA Cafe, and then we started talking, and then I remembered I kind of forgot to tell her. So I actually told her about probably second period today, which was at like 10 o'clock, but yeah, a little bit late notice. But I don't have any favors or anything, so we're just gonna say it. So the first thing I noticed, I had her fourth period, which is right before lunch. That'll come in later. But first thing I noticed is how she treats everybody the same. It doesn't matter like who you are or how much you engage in class or talk in class or anything. She always treats you the same. And one of my favorite things was how we have story times. And everybody, we had a pretty small class, we was all comfortable with each other. So we'd all come in and everybody would tell her about how their weekend was and all the turtles they caught and how they ate it and choked on a bone and stuff. Yeah, and swarping on pigs, as Bear would say. But one thing about Miss Middleton is how she treats everybody the same. Even though sometimes you could tell, well, you couldn't really tell, but I knew it inside, she had no care for their stories at all. But she still sit there and listen to their entire story and just made them feel so special. She really did. She made everybody feel extremely special. And my period was right before lunch, which is fourth period. And well, there's a lot of stuff that can go down by fourth period. You got quite a lot of time right there. And so a lot of people would occasionally come in with not having the best day. But then once they come in Miss Middleton's class, by the end of the class, it wasn't really an option. You had to be happy because she just had an attitude. It was like extremely contagious and excited all the time. And she was always extremely composed. But kind of what it came down to is she always trusted in God a lot. Yeah, like you could definitely tell that. Even though she didn't say it, but you could like tell it through her actions. And one time she said that, I may not be able to say that, it's too late now. But she said she hadn't always been that way. But that just kind of gives me hope, because even though I may not be that way right now, it gives me hope that you can turn out that way sometime. And she taught me how to bread chicken. I'll never forget that, hopefully.
Okay, our next presenter will be Amber Brown.
My Greenleaf recipient is Profe Johnson. Four years might seem like a long time, but it's gone by in an instant. I am forever grateful for the amazing people who have helped me get to where I am today. I'd like to thank Tanya Allen for her never-ending positivity, Brent Daniels for helping me fall in love with science, my youth pastor Dustin Smith for teaching me to always trust God's plan, for Tima Fusen for being the most amazing math teacher and constantly reminding me that I'm going to be okay, and lastly my parents for being my biggest supporters. I would not be standing here today without the blessings that these people have poured out on me. I did not realize that having so many incredible people in my life could be a problem until I had to choose who I gave my Greenleaf Award to. All these people have been so influential in my life, and I couldn't have done it without them. I finally decided to give this award to someone who has impacted my life in such a way that I strive to be more like her every day. This person who has inspired me so much is Profe Johnson. From the moment I first entered her classroom as a freshman, I knew that she was different than many teachers I've had in the past. Education was not just her career, it was her passion. Her Spanish lessons might have been tough, but her life lessons were much tougher. These lessons often came in the form of simple Spanish phrases. One of these lessons was that somos amables, or we are kind. This might seem like an easy one, but it's something that we often forget to focus on in our daily lives. Profe taught me to prioritize kindness and to use it as a tool to build up others around me. Profe exemplifies kindness in everything she does, and everyone around her sees this. She makes the world a brighter place with every action and every word, and she isn't afraid to practice what she preaches. Another one of my favorite lessons from Profe is enfócate, or focus. While this was mostly used during our Spanish 3 class to try to get us off one of our frequent rants, it also speaks to how Profe has always encouraged me to focus on pursuing both my academic and life goals. This encouragement to focus has helped me achieve so much over the past 4 years. Through everything, she has always been by my side, giving me words of advice, proofreading any important application, or supporting me during one of my games or meets. Her never-ending love and support has gotten me through so much. Profe has always been tough. She doesn't let us slack off, and she definitely doesn't give easy tests. even though she says they are. She doesn't do this because she dislikes us or wishes misery on us, but instead she does it because she knows we can rise to the challenge. She wants us to reach our full potential, and she knows that this isn't possible if we are a baby. While her being tough on us is definitely something I've complained about, I'm so thankful for this pushing us in the right direction. Profe's support makes me want to be a better person every day, solely so that I can make her proud. For the 4 years that I've known Profe, making her proud is something I've always kept in the back of my mind. She has done so much to help me, and she deserves to see all the hard work she puts into her students pay off. So thank you, Profe, for all your love, support, and making me want to be a better person every single day. Te lo debo todo a ti.
Next up, we have Mr. Corey Bright.
Tonight I will be presenting my Green Leaf Award to my dad, Mike Bright. Just a few weeks ago, I was unexpectedly called down to Mr. Cody Miller's office. Cody looked at me and he asked me a question that I've been waiting on to hear for 4 years now. He said, "Corey, who would you like to give your Green Leaf Award to? Keep in mind, it should be someone that has truly impacted your life." Throughout my life, I've had numerous people positively impact me. I couldn't possibly list every single person, but to all of my elementary school teachers, Little League coaches, friends and family, I would just like to say thank you. To my mom, first, I would just like to say, I love you. Regardless of how much we butt heads, I'm truly thankful for all your constant love, guidance, help, and support throughout everything I've done in my life. You are truly the definition of a selfless mother, and for that, thank you, Mom. I also can't forget about the one and only Fahita Fusen. Miss Fusen kind of adopted the role as my school mom, but as most of you know, she's been the school mom to hundreds of students. I honestly don't know what I would have done without the constant help, advice, and support that she has shown me, even though sometimes I may not agree with the advice. But although we give each other a hard time, you know I love you, Miss Fusen, and I can't thank you enough for all you've done for me. There's one other person that I can't leave out, J.D. Burrell. J.D. started coaching here at the high school for my freshman year, and from day one I knew I was going to like this guy. From the constant conversations of baseball, golf trips, advice about women, don't worry Mom, you're the perfect advice, secrets kept, and just life lessons in general, I can't thank you enough, J.D. I've had unbelievable support from several teachers, friends, and family, but there's one person who has been there through it all, my dad. A Green Leaf Award is supposed to show appreciation for the impact an individual has had on your life. To say that my dad has impacted my life would be an understatement. Baseball has always been a common love for the both of us, and it's caused us to grow closer as father and son. I can still remember as a little kid sitting a pillow at the end of the hallway, grabbing my glove and a wiffle ball, and pitching an entire game to that pillow, acting like a little Roger Clemens. Well, I threw into the pillow as long as I could, because it never failed. As soon as I missed the pillow and my dad heard it hit the hallway door, I was in for it. Then I had to go suck up to my mom every time. It didn't matter if I was playing wiffle ball outside, tossing the ball in the hallway, playing wall-ball at the park, or practicing in the heat of the day, my dad was always there. He has been nothing less than the best father figure a son could ask for. For as long as I can remember, my dad has been a coach, not just a baseball coach, but a coach in life as well. He has pushed me to strive and continue to strive for excellence in baseball, school, and most of all, on responsibilities in life. He has pushed me to overcome adversity, not to accept failure, only learn from it, and to strive for my best in anything I do, and to be humble in whatever I may do. He has taught me to put God first and to trust in my faith. He has taught me to always be a respectable young man who puts others before himself. So to you, Dad, thank you. Thank you for spending countless hours and long miles traveling on the road to make sure I had every opportunity available. Thank you for waking up early and staying out late just to watch my games and practices, no matter how good or bad they may have been. Thank you for constantly pushing me to get the most out of myself in anything I do. Thank you for chewing my head off when you knew I could do better. Thank you for never giving up on me and always being the one that said I could do anything. Thank you for all the fist bumps after big wins and the long talks after tough losses. You're right. Baseball's a lot like life. They're both full of ups and downs, and you're the one that makes the most of your opportunities. So to end, I just wanted to say thank you, not for being a great coach, but for being a great father. I love you, Dad.
Okay, our next presenter is Gina Bunch.
My Green Leaf recipient is Mr. Daniel. I'd like to thank all my teachers and family for helping me throughout high school. I really wouldn't be where I am without their guidance and wisdom. But today, I'd especially like to thank Mr. Daniels for his part in making me who I am now. Biomed is definitely one of the hardest classes I've had in school, but also one of the funnest. It sparked my interest for the medical field and given me a lot of knowledge to go into college with. No matter how difficult or easy something was, you always took the time to explain and re-explain and explain it, no matter how hard it was. If I had a question, you always answered it with honesty. Even if you didn't know the answer, you always found out for us. Because of you, I've retained so much information in all 4 years of biomed than I have in any other class. You've pushed me to go above and beyond my own expectations. You're the best teacher I could have, and no matter where you go, always remember, I'm going to be your coach.
Our next presenter is Morgan Carroll.
Okay, my Green Leaf recipient is Brenda Grubb. Since the first time I heard about a Green Leaf in the 2nd grade, I've always made it my goal to receive one. With such a competitive class, I knew that receiving a Green Leaf was easier said than done. After many hours of hard work and determination, when I was told that I would be receiving a Green Leaf, it was a dream come true. Then came the difficult task of choosing only one person for my award.
I owe a huge thank you to Miss Rachel Thomas, Mr. Brent Daniels, Miss Fatima Fusen, Joy McKeon, Darren Spencer, and my wonderful mother. There was, however, one person that instantly came to mind. My Greenleaf recipient is my Nana, Brenda Grubb. She is someone who loves me unconditionally and is an all-around amazing person. From the day I was 6 months old, she stepped into my life and filled a role so much bigger than anyone could ever imagine. My biological Nana had never been a part of my life, and when I would hear her grandchildren at daycare calling her Nana, I never really thought anything about it. That was her name. She never told me any different and always loved me like I was her own. When the other kids would ask, "Is that your Nana?" the answer was always yes, and she would never tell anyone any different. Over the years, a simple name turned into so much more. She's been my Nana ever since. Nana, you've definitely been there for it all. You've been there for many special memories, and like any Nana, you've never failed to wish me a happy birthday. You were there when I was learning how to walk and talk. You've been there for most every first day of school and got me off the bus many times, always with a smile on your face. You were there to help me with all the tough elementary homework that I thought I just couldn't handle, which included listening to me read for 20 minutes countless times, even though you knew I hated to read. You showed me what it was like to truly love and care for somebody, and I'll forever be thankful for that. You showed me the building blocks of success, and without you, I know that I would not be standing on this stage tonight as a Greenleaf recipient. I am who I am because of you, and I couldn't imagine giving this award to anyone else. I can't wait to have you walk across the graduation stage with me. Thank you for everything, and I love you always.
Our next presenter is Samantha Klingerman.
The Greenleaf I'm giving mine to would be Jesse Combs, who was my Algebra 2 teacher last year, but sadly he couldn't make it today. So to stand in his place, I have Fatima Fusen. And honestly, I wouldn't have anybody else stand for him other than Fatima Fusen and Miss Rachel Thomas, as both of them have been my second mothers this year, both wonderful, independent women. And I cried so much in Fusen and Thomas's class because it was just a relaxed feeling like I could be myself. And Jesse Combs is the person I'm going to give it to because he inspired me to become a teacher myself. And last year was his first year, and he even questioned if he should be a teacher himself. And from the many students he talked to, he realized that it was the field he wanted to go into, and he touched so many children's lives. And I came to him one day in tears telling him that he was the one that inspired me to also become a teacher in that. And I left him that day in tears. And he wrote some students personal note cards that I still cherish and I read at my desk sometimes. And he said, "Sam, you came to me the other day almost in tears, but you left me in tears, and I honestly cannot thank you enough. All year I've been back and forth about my choice of the teaching career. The majority of my year has been questioning this choice and feeling like this wasn't the right thing. However, hearing your account, hearing other students, I can finally say again that I'm so proud that I made my decision. I have students like you to thank for that. You and others are reward enough for me. I'm so thankful you've decided to be a teacher and a math teacher at that. And to hear I had a part in that truly has meant the world to me. You'll be an excellent teacher and your students will be so lucky to have you. On your journey, people will tell you that teaching isn't the profession it used to be, and they're right. This profession isn't for the faint-hearted, nor a second option. Sam, go from here and educate your beautiful mind, and let's create a profession people would love to go into again. Sam, thank you for everything. You'll be an excellent mathematician one day. I'll gladly be here anytime you need me. Love, Combs. I have never had a teacher who writes me a note and personally gets to know his children till this year where I've met Fatima and Rachel. And that's why I give my green leaf to him.
Our next presenter is Blevin Campbell. So I'm giving my green leaf to Fatima Fuson. Come on up. While she's on her way up here, I'd like to thank Knox Central staff for helping me become who I am as a student and as a person. But first and foremost, I want to thank my family for being there always through ball games, always making sure I'm at school, always making sure I'm doing my schoolwork when and how I should be. And I would like to thank Brent Daniels for being my environment teacher for 4 years. And I know this is kind of weird, but teaching me that not being normal is okay. Because me and him both are far from it, and we're doing just fine. So, start this off, I'm going to tell a story. So we go into freshman year, I walk in class, first day, we have this teacher named Miss Barker. And not saying anything wrong with Miss Barker, she's an amazing teacher, but she's also a drill sergeant, and I don't do well with those kinds of teachers. So, I was like, gosh, this is going to be a rough year, this is not going to be very fun. And then she tells us she's leaving. And I was like, well, okay. So, in walks little Miss Fuson. And I was like, new me, here we go, this will be fun. But she ended up being a good teacher, actually a great teacher. Very fun times we've had. She's like Corey said, she's been my second mom here at school. She's always kept me in line whenever I wasn't being as good as I should be. Taught me to keep mean things in when I shouldn't say it. She's always there to kind of tell you, So she does a great job with that. But most importantly, she's been a great teacher in school, and I've had her 3 out of 4 years. I've had her in a math class, so that's been very fun. But even the year I didn't have her, I pretty much had her because I was always in her class bugging her. But she taught me 2 very important things in life that I'm going to take with me forever. The first one is, it's okay to not be okay. So as much as we try to be perfect and we try to be this cool cat that wants to do everything exactly how people want you to see, how you want people to see you, you're not going to be able to. It's not going to happen. And that's okay. It's fine. It's okay to not be okay. And the second thing is that no matter what, when you're trying to be perfect and you're trying to get there, you're going to get through it. You're going to make it through it. You're going to do it. If you set your mind to it and you really want to do it, it might not go exactly how you want it to go. You might hit some bumps along the way, but I've probably heard her say 1,000,000 times, it's all right, we're going to get through it, we'll be fine. She said it 100 times and preached it. So, Ms. Fuson, thank you for being my teacher, my second mom, and my friend. I love you. Thank you very much. Next up, we have Emily Carter.
I'll be giving my green leaf to Brittany Smith. When I started 7th grade, I met a great person that would help me through my middle school and high school career. Although at the time I met her, I had no idea that she was going to make such an impact in my life. Brittany Smith was my special ed teacher, but she has gone far beyond being a teacher to me. When I first met her, I was shy and I didn't talk much. But as I got to know her, we became friends, and she has tutored me. She has helped me when I needed to figure out something. She has encouraged me when I was down and didn't know what to do. And she has given me advice when I needed it. Brittany has taught me many things through the 6 years I have known her. She has taught me to never give up. She has taught me that when I don't know what to do, to look to God first and to pray about it instead of stressing over it. She has also taught me that even when life is hard and you want to give up, you shouldn't. But you should give it your all and keep pushing forward. Learning with dyslexia has not been easy, but Brittany has encouraged me to do my best. She has tutored me and helped me to read and spell better. Brittany has never let me use dyslexia as an excuse. She has always known that I could do it even if it took me longer than everyone else. She has always told me that everything was going to turn out the way it was supposed to, even if it's not the way I wanted it to. When I was a freshman in high school, I heard about Greenleaf, and I immediately knew that if I got in the top 25 and I got to give a Greenleaf to someone, it was going to Brittany. She has always gone above and beyond for me, even though she did not have to. Thank you, Brittany, for being a great teacher, friend, and mentor to me.
Next up, Sarah Carter.
I have chosen to give my green leaf to Miss Fusing. Miss Fusing, you have been with me since my freshman year of high school. You have been an amazing teacher who really cares about your students and more than just their grades. You have pushed me to be the best me I can be and do the best that I can do. You've always helped me when I needed it, whether it was during or after school. You helped me with the ACT when I was really stressing about it. And when there was anything that I didn't understand, you were always there to help me. You continued to help me the year that I wasn't in your class when you really didn't have to. You told me to get it together and calm down when I was really overstressing and I didn't need to. Thank you, Ms. Houston, for everything you've taught me and done for me and for all of your hard work. I really appreciate you, and Really glad to have a person like you in my life. I love you, Miss Houston.
Our next presenter is Hannah Daniels.
It's not often that people take the time to say thank you. In fact, it's not often that people even think about how others have impacted their lives. But I wanted to be sure to say thank you, Ms. Houston. You have done more for me than I ever could have asked for. I have grown so much in 4 years, and I could not be more thankful to have had you by my side saying, "It's going to be fine," each and every time I was overwhelmed. The reason I am in Top 25 was because of you. So when you start feeling discouraged, just know that you've impacted my life forever. I won't be sad that I'm graduating because I know the next chapter of my life will be full of great opportunities, but I will be sad that I'm leaving you. You have been more than just my teacher. You have been my role model. You have taught me that I will have bad days every now and then, but everyone does. And no matter how perfect I aspire to be and know how many things I want to achieve, sometimes they just can't happen in one day, and that's perfectly okay. You have taught me to be confident in who I am and to stand up for myself. You've taught me that even if today wasn't perfect, just say, "Oh well," because tomorrow is a new day and I can do anything. I'm so thankful to have you by my side tonight and every day for the past 4 years. I'm still in awe of how perfect God's timing always is. Little did I know, 4 years ago, you were exactly the person I needed. You have taught me more than any calculus lesson ever could. You have never given up on me, and I know without a shadow of a doubt that you never will. How blessed am I to know that you will always be a text away, no matter how late. The love you have shown me means more than any honor I could ever receive. You will never know how much you have changed my life. I aspire to be as godly and strong as you are every day. I know the University of Kentucky will have brilliant professors, but I'm certain that they will not have Fatima Houston.
Our next presenter is Hannah Gregory.
I'm giving my green leaf speech to Ms. Thomas. Thank you, Thomas, for being one of the only people I can come to when I need someone. We have had lots of laughter and tears over the past 3 years, and I expect there to be more to come. You have not only been my teacher, but you have also become my sister. You are amazing in every way possible, and I wouldn't know what to do without you. I am so grateful for the bond that we will forever hold. You will always be a part of my life.
Next up, Savannah Gray.
Hi, I was trying to anticipate when I was going to go, but he called Gregory before Gray, and it kind of freaked me out, but I'm here now. I give my green leaf to Robbie Johnson. The most influential people in my life have always been educators. This day can't pass without me giving thanks to all the amazing people who went beyond the call of duty to educate, comfort, and just really believe in me. Fatima Fusen, you've been there for me all 4 years of high school, and I can never thank you enough. Rachel Thomas, who is the best cousin ever, hands down. Victoria Pope, who tolerated me when I was intolerable, even when I made her ulcer burn and invested her glass jar of lotion, hashtag no regrets. And my mom, who taught me arguably the most important skill of all, how to talk. And those of you who know me know I haven't shut up since. So to all of you, thank you. I've heard it said many times that when it comes to Greenleaf Awards, the person who comes to mind first is who you give it to. And while I can't deny how much I love each of you here, and I couldn't and wouldn't have made it to where I am today without you, Robbie Johnson is the first person who came to my mind and the person I'm giving my Greenleaf to. So, as a joke in 8th grade, I marked Spanish for my elective class choice. And I was terrified when I picked up my schedule freshman year and I had 6 periods Spanish 1. I walked down that long hallway to the very last door, and I was greeted with what I can only describe to you as the most nonsense I've ever heard in my life. This woman speaking complete, full Spanish to me. I was terrified. That year was really hard, but I managed to get through it. The language really captivated me, but what changed my life were the stories. The first time Profe told my class about some of her adventures in South and Central America, my brain literally exploded on the spot. I'd never been outside of these mountains. Maybe twice a year we would drive through the tunnel and go to the flea market in Tennessee. So these stories of the rest of the world slowly started to keep me up at night. What really is on the other side of these mountains? Profe, I'd love to say that it was your choice in movies selection that kept me coming back. It absolutely was not. I'd even really like to say that it was the language, but it was the stories. It was the units over countries and projects like exploring the volcanoes in Mexico, which I'm going to pause and tell you a little story. Profe likes to sit the, for lack of a better word, weaker students with the ones who are doing what they know what they're doing. In my freshman year, the year I was terrified, she sat me with this girl who was a senior who had an F all year and really didn't care, and it was hard. So we had a big project. It was the first big project in Spanish, and the class period before I was supposed to present, I went to check and make sure everything was in order, and this girl had added a slide that had a picture of a volcano, and it said, volcanoes, they're kind of like nature's pimples. And I was horrified. And Profe, even though at the time it wasn't funny and it traumatized me, looking back, they kind of are. So junior year, Profe introduced me to the Quest Bridge program, and I took note of it, but I never thought I would actually apply. Me, a girl from small town Kentucky, going to Yale or UVA, I kind of decided on going to a small in-state school. I went to GSP that summer, and without talking excessively about it, it changed my life. I came back with an entirely new perspective. I came home, and I went to work on my application, and I worked without end for several months, making sure my financial information, essays, and everything else was perfect. I submitted the almost 15-page application, and then the real torture came. I had to wait. Profe was there every step of the way as I panicked over whether or not I'd basically wasted the last 4 months of my life. I found out I was a finalist. I was excited, but I didn't want to get my hopes up. December 3rd, I sat in Miss Houston's room after school, continuously pressing the refresh key for an hour and a half until the notification came up that I'd been matched to the Historically Women's College, Wellesley College in Massachusetts. I was numb all over for a long time, and I really couldn't comprehend what I was reading. I was moving to Massachusetts. I was going beyond the mountains, and I was breaking down stereotypes and doing what in my family had never been done before. Over these last few months since finding out about Wesley, Prof has been there for me for the whole way, helping me to stay calm. When I move in August, Prof and Philip are going with me, and I know that should I ever need anything in the future, they'll be there just like they are now. A Greenleaf Award goes to someone who has made a lasting impact on your life. Because of Prof pushing me, believing in me, loving me, giving me all the support I'll ever need, my life will never be the same. And I love you.
Our next presenter is Caleb Gibson.
My Greenleaf recipient is Mike Ward, and unfortunately he wasn't able to be here tonight. First of all, I'd like to thank every teacher that has helped me through my 4 years here at Knox Central. There have been many people who have assisted me in different ways and in turn contributed to who I am today. This award could have gone to many people, however, I was only able to select one person to receive my Greenleaf Award. As anyone who knows me can attest, in the beginning of my high school career, I was not very active in extracurricular activities. However, that all changed when I was introduced to tennis. Because of this, I selected to honor Mr. Mike Moore, my tennis coach, as my Greenleaf recipient. Coach Mike has not only inspired me to strive for excellence on the tennis court, but also in life. I truly appreciate the time he has taken to teach me in the more technical aspects of tennis. He has always encouraged me to work hard and always try my best. At times when I wanted to quit, he encouraged me to continue. I think this is the true definition of a coach or teacher, someone who inspires one to do better and pushes people outside of their comfort zone. Mike has truly been that person for me, and I will forever be grateful for all that he has done for me.
Next up, we have Dane Emmel.
My Greenleaf recipient is Miss Fusen. Come on up. I was faced with a much tougher task than what I thought it would be when I was asked to choose my recipient for my Greenleaf. There were multiple great options, but there was one that kept popping up in my mind, and that was Miss Fusen. Freshman year is when I met Miss Fusen. She was honest and very blunt about what she thought and didn't care to tell you straight up how things were. Sophomore year, I took college algebra, and it just so happened that Miss Fusen was teaching that class as well. At this point, we were all familiar and comfortable with Miss Fusen and knew how to get her going. Somehow she managed to keep us under control and teach us just a thing or two. Junior year, Miss Fusen was missing from my schedule, but she would always find me sneaking off to talk to her and catch up with her as much as I possibly could. She might have even given me some tutoring when I was struggling with the content we were learning that unit. But when senior year came around, I thanked God when I saw that Miss Fusen was teaching our AP Calculus class. We had a blast this year together, from taking derivatives to you having to mother me 2 days ago when I tried to run through a wall. Yes, we may have our arguments, fights, and the constant get out of my room sayings,
I wouldn't trade our time together for anything. It's not every day you run across a person who is as kind, caring, and loving as Miss Fuson, and I'm thankful God placed you in my life freshman year. I will forever be thankful for you, Miss Fuson. I'm going to miss you.
Our next presenter is Peyton Johnson.
I'm giving my green gift to my mom. Hearing about a green leaf all throughout high school, it has always been a goal of mine to get one. With having such a competitive class, this was a tough task to complete. I truly believe that without such great and supportive people in my life, I would not be where I am today. When considering who I would choose for my green leaf, I thought of all the great teachers and coaches I have been blessed to have throughout school. Starting with my kindergarten teacher, Miss Becker, one of the sweetest and most caring women I know. Went on to 4th grade when I decided I was going to play basketball and met Devin Mills, who made it hard for me to leave my little elementary school. Considering all the impactful people I've had in high school made my decision that much harder. I want to thank all the teachers who have helped me get through all of my difficult times during my 4 years here. I also want to say thanks to Coach Lauder for forcing me to run track and cross country and always pushing me when I needed it the most. All of his advice has had a huge impact on me. Having such an amazing and supportive family also made the choice of who would receive my green leaf even harder. My grandparents who have always been the first to tell me happy birthday every year and the people I know I can come to for anything. My oldest sister, who I've always looked up to, along with my younger sister, has been there through it all. My brother, who never fails to make me laugh, and my dad, who has always been my second coach in everything. So many people have inspired me in many ways, but the person I have chosen has impacted me in ways that others could not. You have always had such high expectations for me, and that is why I am where I am today. You have helped me set and reach many of my goals with academics and sports. You have always been there to push me. You have spent many late nights helping me with projects I waited too late to do or at cross-country track meets, supporting everyone. Not only have you helped me succeed in sports or academically, you have taught me the importance of being a good person. You are the one person I know that puts everyone above yourself and always try and help people as much as possible. And I'm happy to say that you taught me to do the exact same. Thank you for making me the best possible version of myself. I love you and want you to know how thankful I am for you.